to our to our website right now. I will continue from where we stopped. I need to put this thing on DND so we can. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna dashboard. Let's go to our pages and we'll continue from where we stopped. So this is our home page and we'll be editing with Elementor. So actually, the network is good on my phone, but the hotspot is bad. Okay, so here is where we stopped. And like I said in the previous class, we will be trying to close the space between these two guys so that we can have them close together. So to do that closing of the stuff, one of the things you need to do is that you click on this particular wait, let me record on Telegram. I forgot. Okay, from page. Okay, yeah, good. So like I said in previous class, I said we need to close the space between these two buttons. So for us to be able to close the space between these two buttons, what we need to do is that we click on this particular grid container, which is this grid container right here, and we see the width. So what we are going to do here is that we need to close the width a bit, shorten it a bit. You can see as I'm dragging, the width is getting smaller. So that's how we close the space between. So when you get the preferred size or the preferred space you want, then you are you are good. Please, I will need to confirm something you can hear me after I do this thing so that it won't affect the voice quality. Okay. If you can't hear me, type it to the chats because I I can't hear you right now. I muted you because it's affecting the audio quality of this of the stuff. So we'll close the space between. If we publish this, you can't hear me again. Can you hear me now? Okay. So we've closed the space between these guys. If we publish it and we try to view our website, you see that the space between is now a bit shorter than it was before. Before it was very wide, so it's on a normal or standard spacing right now, and everything is working well. So also, I think I skipped something in the last class. In case we don't want this kind of hero section whereby we have this whole image or the full width, we don't want it full width. We want it something boxed. Like let me give you an example. Like this, that we have spacings between. The whole picture won't flow to each side. It won't cover each side. To do that, what we're actually going to do is that we click on this container. When we click on this, okay, hold on. I said, you see this Euro section right here. You see that the image is touching the edge of the screen. The image is touching the edge of the screen. If you don't want that kind of Euro section, that we want this kind of hero section whereby you can't hear me. I think it's from the side. The network is good, or the network is good, and I can even hear myself. I can hear myself. I can hear myself. I can hear myself. I don't know what's wrong on the side. I said, you see this zero section here. You see that the image is touching the edge of the screen. The image is touching the edge of the screen. If we don't want that kind of hero section whereby this image that we use as the background image won't touch the edge of this screen, that we want it to look something like this, that the image will look something like this, and we'll have like white spacing. We'll have white spacings at the sides. Do you understand what I'm trying to say now? We'll have white spacing at these sides instead of the whole image touching both edges. To do that kind of thing, what we are going to do is that we click on the container that has that background. Then you see this place that has width. First, you need to change. If the content width is on full width, you need to change it to box. When it's on box, what you need to do is then you adjust this width. You drag it down a bit. You drag it down a bit so that there will be spaces. Hold on. Am I pressing the wrong thing? Hold on. This should, hold on. It should work this way. I don't know why. Or maybe we need to save it. Wait, let's publish it first. Let's check. Because Elementor has been doing some weird things for a quick now. It's not changing. Hold on real quick. Let me make it full width. Then okay, yeah. We make it full width. Then instead of the 100% that we have, which is touching both edges, we drag it down a bit, maybe to like 90 or 95. So if we leave it on 95, just to show you what I'm trying to say, I will publish it and we go back to our website. You see that now we have spaces. We have spaces at the side. So you see the difference now. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that's what I'm trying to say. Hold on for me, please. I need to monitor. I need to monitor this thing. Okay, so that's in case you want a home page like that. But in this situation, I'll be using the normal one we used before. So I'll make this 100%. I'll make this thing 100% back so that it will come back to normal. And like I said, always remember to publish. Always remember to publish. So this thing should cover up to the side back again. Yeah, very good. So you can see it's full width. It's full width now. So uh moving on without wasting much time, let's go on to the next stage. So on this next stage, we want to create another section. This is a section now, hero section. For you to like make things easy for you, there's something we call the navigator. There's something we call navigator. The navigator is this layer that we have up here. This button that we have up here. You can see this place. This last button. That's a structure. If I click on this, then we have this thing. This navigator here. We have this thing right here. So here you can use it to like class your section so that you'll be able to know where you put a certain thing. So for us to make things easy for us, this is the container like this. This one container here like this. So I'll give you this container hero section. It's not important, but it's just to make things easy for you. I'll give you this container hero section. Then I'll give this grid. I'll give this grid new buttons. It's not important. I'm just trying to just tell you to, in case you see something like that. Maybe one time you open Elementor. Sometimes when you open Elementor, it brings it out for you by default. So moving on to the next stage, I'll be canceling this. Moving on to the next stage, we will need another container because we want to create a new section again, which is like maybe like a about section. You understand? So I'll be clicking on this, and for the about section, first I will need to check my design if I have a design on ground, or if I'm trying to use a design from my head, I will try to like reason about the design. So I'll just be using like a normal simple website layout that is very popular. So for the second section, what I'll be using here is also a flexbox. Remember, a flexbox, but I'll be using uh I'll be using I'm trying to check what is actually nice for us to use. Okay, I'll be using this first one, this direct column. I'll be using direct column like the one we used earlier before. So when I place that, one of the things we will need is our heading again. So we drag our heading here and we give it about us. We give it about us. So we'll be aligning this thing to the center. We want it to be at the center. So we go to alignment, bring it to the center. The typography also, we must not forget to change it to our typography, our font, because font must be consistent to make your websites beautiful. If you're using different font on your website, it's not actually nice. So we're using our font, which is Sora, and we have this about us right here. So that is done. So another thing I want to do now is that I want to have like two sections here. I want to have like two sections here, whereby we have an image on this left hand side and we have like a write up on this right hand side. You understand? In that situation, this is where flexbox and grids comes in. You understand? So in this situation, we can use flexbox. Also, we can use grid. It's just depending on your choice. But in this situation, flexbox is more preferable. Why? You have full customization of each container in a we use grid for the button there. And you see, if you want to edit now, we can only edit the old grid. We can only edit the old grid, which is this container. But if it was a flexbox, we can be able to edit this container that we have this buy cost button, and then another container will be available for this contact us so that we like have like full customization over it. So basically, um, the most time grid is really useful is when you are dealing with mobile responsiveness. When you are dealing with mobile responsiveness, whereby you want the website to be responsive for mobile phone. There are some designs whereby you will need grid for the website to be very responsible on a mobile phone, just depending on the kind of design you are working towards. But on a normal day, Flexbox will always get the job done because Flexbox has been on before even grid came in, that people actually use Flexbox for everything they were doing that time. So moving on, in this situation, like I said, I'll be using um, okay, I'll be using a Flexbox, but I'll be picking these two containers, this side by side, because I said I want an image on the left hand side and I want a write up on the right hand side. So I'll be using this structure of a two container that has a left hand side and a right hand side. So what I do is I click on this and we should have this. So you can see now we have the old container, which is this, We have another container here, which is this, and we have another container here, which is this. Don't get confused. Everything is just a normal thing. How containers work. Just make sure you are doing the right, you are following the right design, or you are getting the right design you want. So we have this now. I said we want our image to be on this left hand side. So what I do is I come to our element panel, like clicking on the plus icon, and I search for images. When I search for image, so we have a lot of like image related stuff, but I just want like a plain image. So what I do is I drag this image into this box on this side. Then we have this thing that come up like this placeholder. So here is where we choose our image. Okay, you are still here. So we click on choose image, then we click on stock, stock pack, just to search like the image. So I'll be searching about us, just understand, just use like the right image for everything. I'm trying to make sure you get the layout of everything. So I'll be searching for about us, and I'll be picking an image. Uh, I'm not looking for something landscape. I'm looking for something portrait or something square in shape, or something portrait. I think this is square in shape. Uh, okay. I think that's why it's always important to always find the right image for everything you want to do. If you don't have the right image, you have problem. I think let me just use this guy here. So I'll be using this guy. I'll download this. I download this, then it's been downloaded. I select it. So we have this image like this. So I'll be making little adjustment on this image. For one of the adjustments I'll be doing on this image is that because of the size of the image is not really square in shape, I'll be with section expired. Oh, oh. Hold on. It got logged out. 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 I don't know. Sometimes it might be network, or sometimes it might just be your browser uh trying to catch some stuff. It might be network, it might be your browser. I've actually had experience like that so much time. So it's not something surprising. So okay, let me use my mouse back. We should have charged it. Yeah, we're already back in Elementor. We're already back on Elementor. We're already back on Elementor. I didn't close the Elementor tab. I did not close the Elementor tab. So here's the image we uploaded. But for us not to have issues, I'll need to reload that Elementor tab. I'll need to reload the Elementor tab so that I won't have any issue. Because it might work so far and everything you work when you want to save it, it's just tell you server error, and you'll be forced to reload it. And when you reload it, everything is gone, it's gone. Okay, so like I said, here's the image. So I will wanting to do some kind of adjustment on this image, like increasing the height a bit so that it can cover up, but I won't make it look straight. It won't be straight. I just want to like make just little adjustments so that to increase the height a bit. So I'm giving it 320, and the object width I'll be doing cover. Yeah, So when we're done with that, is the next for us is to put our right top by this side. So to put our right top by this side, what we're doing is okay, let's use text editor. We'll be using text editor. So we drag in the text editor here. Then the next thing is to put our right top here. So hold on, let me use uh I'm coming average. Try to give AI to like give us a content we can use. So I'll be using this one. Yeah, I'll be using this one. So now we have our right top by this side. And always remember also we will change our font, like we'll do the typography on everything. So okay, let me use this opportunity to talk about these alignments that we have. Alignment left, it means that the words will be aligned to the left. Alignment center means you see how it's just check how the text are changing. You need to align to the center. Alignment right means it will be aligning to the right, and justified means everything will just be like a square. It will justify to be like a square. You understand? So I'll be using lefts in this situation. So our typography also, I'll be changing our font to Sura. I'll be changing our font to Sura as we've been doing. Sometimes you can have two fonts on your website. You can use two fonts, a font for the heading, another font for the body. It's normal. You can have, I think the highest you should have for the website is three. The highest you should have on the website is three. Heading font, body font, then maybe a link or maybe like a branded font. Or I don't know the English I can use for that. It's just for like maybe to highlight something or to keyword something out, to cite something out. So we've changed our fonts, and also remember you can always change color also. If we change this to black, you see the color is more deeper and all like that. So now we are done with another section. But if you click on publish, then publish this post. Wait, I'll be changing this alignment to justify so that it can look more cute. I'll be changing it to justify so that it can cover up the gaps at the sides. So hold on, and let's preview this. So you can see this is what we have now. This is what we have now. But you will see that this about us that we have here, it's too close. It's too close to this arrow section. There should be breathing space between sections. There should be breathing space between sections. So for us to give this gap enough breathing space, what we do is just very simple as we did in our last class. We come back to our Elementor, click on the container affected, which is this container that has this about us. We click on the container, then we come to our advanced. Remember, margin is outside, padding is inside. So what we do is first we unlink this, and when we unlink it, we give it, we want to give it more space, not that we want to close it. Remember the last class we wanted to close the button, so we minus, but now we want to give it more space, so we won't use minus, we'll just be using a normal digit. So I love using 25, 30, 40, depending, just depending on the design generally. There's not really a digit for that, but for a normal breathing space, 25, 30 is okay. So we have this, but I just want us to do something. I want us to like close the gap between this about us and this image and this text. I want us to close the gap a bit. So what you do is that, but now in this situation, we have a container here, we have a container here, and we have a general container here. So don't get confused. is because we want to like shift this whole content up, we have to touch the general container. So we'll be clicking on the general container, coming to advanced also, unlinking this, and we minus. So I'll give it this minus 10. I'll give it this minus 10. So let's publish and let's check. Let's publish and let's check. So, oh, my bot is low, and it's okay. Okay, it's still capturing. It's still capturing. So if you view this now, you see we have enough breathing space now. We have enough breathing space, and this thing is closed a bit, and we have like a nice design now. So to spice things up more on this section, because we are trying to do like a landing page. The usefulness of a landing page is that we're trying to get leads. Whenever we talk about digital marketing, leads is very important. So my landing page is mainly for leads. So we must like put enough call to actions or enough action buttons on each sections. We must have enough action buttons on each sections. Like for example, let me show you this website. Actually, I posted this website too. I'm forgetting. Like now, on this website now, this is the action button. Get quotes. If you click on this, it actually gets you quotes. We have this button again, is the action button. We have this one again here, get free quotes. Also the same quotes, this same thing will pop up. This same thing will pop up. Is the action button to get this. If you scroll down again, you will see we still have the same thing again. Get free quotes. If you click on this, it's still the same thing that pops up. If you scroll down again, then we have like their normal stuff. We have another one. This is another section. Get free quotes. Same pop up. So landing page is all about getting leads. Make sure you have enough buttons that whenever they even scroll a bit, they will get a button to click. If you scroll down more, you see another one. Get free quotes. If you click it, the same pop up. All the way down, all the way down. Then the normal stuff. So landing pages should have enough button. So here we'll be adding a button now, but we'll be adding the button under of this right up. So I'll be searching for buttons, and I'll be dragging this like this under this. Wait, hold on. Under this, I don't know why it's going to the wrong place. Yeah, under this right up here, under this particular right up. So we'll be editing this to same by course. We'll be changing that to by course. Then we'll edit the button. But I don't want us to like keep editing stuff. So Elementor has made things easy for you. When you have like branded your button, you can always copy and paste it. So what I'll be doing here is that I want to use this particular button that we use here. So what I do is I click on this, I right click on this pencil icon. When I right click on this pencil icon, I click on copy. But when I click on copy, on a normal paste, it should paste that button. I don't want it to paste that button. Just in case, sometimes if it is the same functionality, you can paste it. But just like explain something, I want to use this button design, and I want to use the design here. So when I copy this button here, I click on copy. I come to that particular button that I want to use that particular design that I copy. I right click on it, and you will see paste style, not paste. If you click normal paste, it will paste that button again. So I'll be clicking paste style, meaning that it will copy that styling of that particular button to this new one. You can also do it for different stuff. It's not only button. You can do it for images, you can do it for sections. Maybe you want to use the style you use. You can always copy that style and paste the style on where you want to use it. So I'll click on paste style. You see the button has changed automatically. So I'll just be changing a little thing Yeah, like changing the over stuff color. So I'll be clicking on the button, but also I want to align it. I don't want it to be at the center. I want to align it to the left. It should be like this. Yeah. And the over, I'll change the over text color. I'll change it to that blue. And I'll change the background also. No, I'll be changing the background to white. I'll leave the background transparent, sorry. But I'll change the border color to that same blue so that we can have something like this. So that we can have something like this. So if we click on publish, I don't want us to rush. That's why I'm publishing and we preview things before we make changes. Let me check if my network is good. Some light out. So if we check this, you see that there is too much breathing space between this button and this right up. There is too much breathing space. So what are we going to do? We come back to our Elementor on that button because it's the button that we want to like adjust, not the whole container. We come to advanced, hold on, we come to advanced, then we on link, then we give it minus because we want to close it up. So I'll be giving it minus 30, sorry. I'll be giving it minus 30 and I publish it. The reason why I'm publishing and going to preview the site is because you are previewing the site from your Elementor. Elementor have already streamed it, so you can't get the actual spacing. But it's just that I give you the knowledge of how you've closed it or how you've adjusted stuff. But that's why you always need to always preview it by clicking on this I button. Yeah, to always preview the site on a live mode and check how it will look. So you can see the button has closed, but it's not aligning with our image. If you notice, our image is a bit shorter and our button is a bit down. So I'll be adjusting that image. I'll be adjusting that image now. I'll give that image more height. I'll give that image like 400. I'll give that image like 400 so that it will look like this. Because I already made it cover. As soon as I already made it cover, it is stretched. It will look stretched. Well, because I made it cover, it will look normal as it is. It will just crop. It will crop it. So let's publish and let's preview. So you can see, but now it's still even more longer. But in this situation that is not longer, I want to tell you something. Maybe in case you don't want to adjust the image anymore, but you want it to like align, everything to align so that it will look better. What you need to do is you come to this Elementor and you have to target this. You have to target this container, which is here. This particular container. You click on this, and the next thing for you to do is you justify content to the center, not align. You justify content to the center. You see, there's no preview. You don't have any preview on this Elementor now. You see, if I preview it now, you see that there's changes. You can see. So it's aligned. This content, this whole content align itself to the center of this image. So there's equal space at the top here. Let me highlight that. There's equal space at the top here, and there's also equal space at the bottom here. There's also equal space at this bottom. So it looks more better. Or better still, you can adjust the height of your image. But just to explain that in this situation, I'll be adjusting the height of our image so as it will blend with the design we want to. So I'll be using three. Let's check out 350 first. If 350 don't work, we check out 380. 380 will definitely work if 350 don't work. Okay. 350. Maybe I think we'll need to change it to 360 then, because we only need just little for it to be aligned. Okay, so we are good, but always still, just to make things better, still always like align this particular, in case you're having something side by side and they're almost same height, always align, always justify this to the center, because you might view it on another screen that is a bit wider, maybe just 1 inch, and that will be very obvious. So it's advisable to justify like that. So we are good this way with our about us. So this is how we've done so far. We've done our hero section. We've done this our heading story. We've done this hero section. We've done this about, and the next thing we'll be doing is like services, like services, like what type of, like, we like all these services, like sections of, like, because we're actually doing like a course kind of website. You just see what I'm about to do now. So it's just like we're talking about like what you will learn. That's the perfect English. What you will learn, what you will learn, which is need to be used to life. What you will learn. So this another section here. I'll need to bring out my navigator again and close things up. You can see we have three sections here like this. This is another container, then this is another general container. So I'll be giving this uh about heading, and I'll be giving this one Stella and Boniface. Oh, true. I'll be giving this one about body, just for me to like categorize them so that I can know them well. I click on publish. Always remember. So moving on, the last section we'll do for today, which is what you will learn. What you will learn. So we'll be needing another container in this situation. Yeah, we'll be needing another container, which is also a flexbox. But I want it to be like we have the heading, then we have like four sections. Because I'm trying to cover up all this container stuff. We'll have like four sections. Just watch out. So I'm using the same direction column this way. But before I put anything, I want to give it the kind of style and I gave it here. Also here, that same spacing, that same breathing space. I'll copy this and I'll paste the style so that there will be enough breathing space before I even start. So I'll be dragging my heading here, and I'll put what your don't let me use for my property. What you will learn. For okay. There's also something called like for subheading. There's something called subheading. We have heading and we have description. Just depending on design, like I said, generally. Subheading, heading, and description I'm talking about is something like this. You see, here we have this subheading. We have this subheading here. Why choose us? This subheading, why choose us? Sorry, this one, why choose us? Then we have the main heading here. Then we have the description. So just depending on the design, in case you want to do that kind of stuff also, you can put something at the top, look small, make the size smaller, then put another heading under it, make it not bigger than that one. Then you continue like that. Just design wise. Though we'll still do another different websites later on. This just like to let us understand how the whole elemental stuff is. So what you will learn from us. Uh Without wasting much time, what I'll just do is I copy this about us and I paste the styling also here so that we have the fonts and everything done automatically. So the fonting and the coloring, everything is done automatically. So we have that, what you will learn from us. The next thing we're doing is we'll be bringing in that four column uh, flex box, which is this one that has 4 columns. One, two, three, four. So I'll be clicking on this. So you will see that, where's my PC getting slow? You see that we have a container here, another container here, another container here, and another container here, making it 4. So I think in this part, before we round up, I will explain the difference between what container and grid can do. Okay, let me just explain this real quick in this situation. If we okay, then let's finish reading this one first. So what you will learn from us, I want it to be something like a information box. You understand how those stuffs look like, how the stuff look like on a normal. I'll just use like a normal, all those popular layouts, simple layouts for now. That's what we're doing so far. We're not going into something really complex or needing some kind of CSS or coding. Just something very simple for now. Then later on, by the time you move on, you will improve with it. So in this situation, I'll be using something called an info box because I want to give information. I want to give information. So I'll be using this info box, there's info card, just depending on the design, basically. Let's check out this info card. I've not actually used it before, but let's check out the likes. Okay, this is how the info card looks like on a normal. Let's check out the info box look like. Let's check out the info box look like. This is how the info box looks like on a normal. I think there's also something called icon box. You can also use it for information because everything is just somehow the same. In this situation, let's use icon box. Because I wanted to have some icons that will illustrate that particular thing. I should have been light out though. I'm opportune to stay no longer. So we have this now. So here we will need like some content, what you learn from us. Although I'll just put in some basic stuffs, you understand? Just put some basic stuffs. I put WordPress, then I'll just put like a description. You will learn the role of WordPress, starting from installation to deployment. So I'll just be using this short content that came onto my head right now. So I'll be changing the icon. There are also some icons available on the WordPress icon library that you can choose from. But if you don't have the icon, you can also upload your own icon by uploading the icon SVG. Icons are in SVG, so there are websites you can get icons. We have uh, how did you get to icon library? It's very simple. I just clicked on this box here. This box here, it will take you to the icon library because you want to change this star, you want to change this star to another icon. So I just click on this, it will take me to the icon library. But if you over on this, you see upload SVG, meaning that if you want to upload your own custom icon, you can click on it, then you have this thing, enable it, then you have to upload your own icon. So I want to tell you where you can get icon. We have icons 88. I think is it 88 or icon 8? You have icon 8. You can download your own icon from icon 8. We have font. We have font awesome. There are a lot of them. There are a lot of them. I can't mention all. There are a lot of them because I can't even recommend one because not every one of them might have the icon you're looking for. It's just basically just for you to just search the whole net to get the icon you want. So I'll be using WordPress icon library in this session. So yeah, I'll be thinking on this and I'll look for a WordPress logo. I think they have a WordPress logo. So we have this WordPress logo. I'll be choosing. Let me use the transparent one. So we have something. Oh, let me use chicken so that we have something like this. And also when we're done with that, we click on the styling to style it. Also you can align it, you can make it look like this, you can align it anyhow, just anyhow you want it. So but I'll be let's start with this first. The icon, you can increase the size of the icon, and also you can change the color of the icon. So I'll be changing which I'm actually having an idea in my head on how we can design this particular stuff. But it's not actually nice you having just white. Try to spice things up. Let's try to spice things up. So hold on for me. Okay, let's do something. Uh, we give. Sorry, let me change it back from back. Yeah, I want to spice things up a bit. You see this particular what's it called? This particular section. I want to give the background. This particular part here. I want to give the background. So what will I do? I'll click on this container, then styles, background, and I'll give it a color. I'll give it that blue. So we have something like this. So I'll do it like blue, white. You understand? Blue, white. So that's what I want to do. So because we are using blue here, we come back to click on our icon box. We click on icons. Our primary color will change it to white so that it can be more visible and move on to the content. No, this blue the it's not see something about designing is that it's not that you use the normal appropriate color. If I call something blue, it's not that it must be actual blue. There are millions of colors. This blue has been our brand identity from start. It's the one we use there, it's the one we use there, it's the one we use here, and it's still the one we keep using. So I can make it my blue more thicker or more lighter or medium. It's just making sure it just gives the vibe of what you want. Like for example now, let me show you something. If you check well, this what will I even call it? This gold that we have on this get coat is different from the one we have here. This one looks more orange, but this one looks somehow sandy gold. So it's just for you, just make sure you are just like using a good color that will represent the brand. That's just the main stuff. Brands also have their own color. MTN has their own color. They are yellow. Their yellow is different from everybody else yellow because they it's something called identity. They calm down to like mix that yellow. Same as their font, that MTN font. You can't find that font anywhere because it's a personal use font. It's a customized font. So brand identity just pick. But in this situation, we'll just be using this one that we have. This our something darker royal blue kind of stuff. So like I said, we'll be changing our content also. Remember, we're changing our fonts first. We're changing our font to Sora. We're changing our font to Sora. Uh, Also, I'll be kind of reducing the size to like 22 or 25. Uh, I'll be changing the color to white. And our description also, I'll be changing the font to Sora. I'm changing the font of our description to Sora.